Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Real Talk with Saieed Ali. I am your host, Saieed. We do want to thank you for joining us, viewers. Remember, Trinidad and Tobago, we are live Monday to Friday right here on Synergy Network from 7 to 8 p.m. with a rerun the next day from 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. and back here in the night time. So as we start off with our program tonight, Trinidad and Tobago, the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, TTPS, has confirmed that 8 reports of bomb threats were received through different medium today, Wednesday, August 19, 2026. In a statement, the TTPS said the report concerns the locations following: the Ariba Magistrate Court, Princestown Magistrate Court, Shogunas Magistrate Court, Kent House Ministry of Rural Development and Local Government, Siparia Magistrate Court, Sandy Grande Magistrate Court, a location in San Fernando, and also Val Park Shopping Plaza. The TTPS said it immediately activated the relevant security protocols, heightened its security posture, and deployed officers to conduct the necessary checks. Investigation into the reports are ongoing and further information will be provided when appropriate. So imagine Trinidad and Tobago. Look at bomb, scared as we should say. Threats. A new trend in Trinidad and Tobago. What is next? What is next? Remember, we are in a country now that the PNM is raging one side, police is kicking up to make sure and capture bandits on the next side. Then we have the citizens on one side protesting about this new government. What I don't understand is that when the PNM was in government and they was getting boulders down their throat for 9 years, nobody protested. That is the sadful part. That is the sadful part. Everybody knowing Stuart Young taking millions of US and carrying it down Venezuela there. And the PNM businessman in Trinidad and Tobago, they zipped them out. They couldn't say nothing. But all of a sudden now, these same PNM business people in Trinidad and Tobago, now they're kicking up a storm for US currency. How sad. How sad it is. It sucks. It stinks. It ain't sad anymore. It sucks. But nevertheless, viewers, the judiciary has announced that most magistrate court will transition to in-person hearing from September 1st, 2026. The judiciary said the return to in-person hearing following its ongoing works to assess and improve court facilities across Trinidad and Tobago. In recent months, Chief Justice Ronnie Bodo Singh visited various courts and facilities across the country, meetings with court staffs and reviewing the conditions, the functionality and accessibility of each building. The Chief Magistrate said, the return to in-person hearing must be supported by court facility that are safe, functional and accessible. The judiciary also said the Port of Spain District Court and the Scarborough District Court will be exempted from in-person hearing in September and will continue under their current arrangement for now. Both are expected to return to in-person hearing in 2027. 15 Criminal High Court will also be available for in-person hearing from September 1st, 2026. So viewers, hopefully with these new arrangements now, we are going to see the backlog of cases being attended to. I believe there were some new judges that were sworn in, some new magistrates. Let's just hope that these people could get a speedily hearing in this day and age. So as we move on, Cape, CSEC students urged to pursue further opportunities. Thousands of students across Trinidad and Tobago have received their Cape and CSEC results. with Ministry of Tertiary Education and Skill Training, Prakash Prasad, sharing congratulations on achievements and commending the dedication that went into their studies. Prasad recognized the important role played by parents, teachers, and school communities in supporting students throughout their academic journey. The minister reminded students that their examination result should be viewed as a stepping stone to new opportunities rather than the end of their education. The ministry congratulated all CAPE and CSEC candidates and wished them continued success as they move on to further education, skills, training, employment, and other opportunities. So Trinidad and Tobago, what we're going to do tonight is that even though the results came out yesterday, you know, I had a packed show last night before. We didn't get a chance to let anyone call in to wish their son or their daughter who wrote the CXC or CAPE to actually call in and shout out their children. For my son did well. Well, he did. 4 2s, 2 1s, and an A. And an A. He did pretty well. So he's going to be the second boss of Real Talk Trinidad and Tobago. This is his result. I am proud of him. He's my big son. He worked hard under stress, under, you know, whatever fight and this and that the school may have. Even though he was almost kidnapped 4.5 years ago, he made me proud yesterday. And I want to say that. He made me proud yesterday. It is not the end of his career, but it is the beginning of something new. A new Real Talk boss. I just want to say that. A new Real Talk boss. And congratulations to all the CSEC and CAPE students that had their results yesterday. Congratulations to you, and remember for the parents and them with their kids who did not do so well. Let me tell you something. I said it before and I will say it again. Do not condemn them. This is just the beginning for them. They could go out, they could find a job, they could further their studies, and they could become something better in life. So don't condemn the children. Please, you know, we have some parents. Oh, you're dumb. I know this is all you get. And I should have planted a fig tree. Your father should have planted a fig tree instead. Your father should have planted a fig tree instead. So parents, don't condemn your children. Because them are the same children, when something happened to you, will take care of you. So a little common sense to the parents goes a long way. That is from me to you. So as we move on in other news tonight, Trinidad and Tobago, PTSC, Minister of Transport and Civil Aviation Eli Zachor, has confirmed that Public Transport Service Corporation, PTSC, is set to introduce between 25 and 30 new bus routes across the country, targeting both rural and urban communities. Zachor noted that the government has been working to repair buses and return them to service. Congratulations to PTSC. I wonder what the PNM was doing all the time with them buses and them, right? I wonder what the PNM was doing all the time. All those PNM people who were depending on bus. Did you all get service? I saying it raw tonight, and if you're vexed, you're vexed. If you please, you please. At the end of the day, this is what you get. This is what you get. So viewers, I want you to listen to this.
We did not inherit the best situation in PTSC. And 9.5 years of neglect cannot be fixed overnight and cannot be fixed in 1 year. PTSC supposed to have roughly about 300 buses. We inherited 97 buses. 76 routes at PTSC was discontinued. 76 routes. Since we came into office, We have been fixing the buses and putting them back on the road. And we have also been increasing the routes as well in the central area. Actually, all throughout the country, we'll be adding routes. And very soon, we'll be introducing about 25 or 30 routes to rural and urban areas.
So now, viewers, he said the new routes will be rolled out soon with expansion expected to improve access to public transportation and provide greater coverage for commuters. So in the coming weeks, viewers, all over the country, they're going to add new routes. Hopefully they're going to have new places where the bus will be stopping and picking up individual. I believe they're going to work on a time schedule. They're going to have bus tickets, so I don't know if you're going to pay the $2 or $3 in the bus. We don't know. We'll just have to wait and see what is taking place. But I must say congratulations to Mr. Zakor on this improvement in PTSC. And you all know Trinidad and Tobago, I give Jack where the Jack is supposed to be. I congratulate who's supposed to be congratulated. And that is how we do it here at Real Talk. Now, in other news, Homeland Security Minister Roger Alexander has responded to the concerns being expressed by the opposition and other about the whereabouts of Police Commissioner Alistair Grovero. Listen to this.
All due respect to everybody, there are some persons right now asking where the commissioner is and they don't know where their children is. They are asking where the commissioner is and where they are employed right now, the boss looking for them. Because they didn't come to work for the day or they haven't seen them. Or they came and signed the book and they're gone. So sometimes I think, as adults, when the time comes, we'll have all of this addressed. And there's no issue. There's no issue. Children, some of the children not going to school, the parents are even asking if they went to school or not. But where is the commissioner? Where is the commissioner? The commissioner is where he's supposed to be.
So imagine we have the Homeland Minister, Roger Alexander, talking like that. Imagine that. Minister Roger Alexander giving us a comment like that. What do you think about that? What do you think about that? It's sad. It's sad. But then again, I always say common sense was made before books, and not much people have it. Not much people know how to talk in the public domain. Not much people know how to educate people around them. Not much people know how to take a stand when a stand is needed. And this is what is always say, common sense was made before books. But then again, you have to look at the individual too and know. And you have to tell yourself, well, you know what? He cannot do better than this. And this is all he could come with. You see, at some point in time, you have to understand the individual. In order to expect more, you might have to put somebody with a higher education. It's that simple. But then say what? We're moving along. However, there are reports that the Commissioner Grovero has taken a few days off. It led to emergency leave. Now, police sources said that it is likely that he left the country. Now, in a statement, the opposition chief whip Marvin Gonzalez asked, why wasn't the Constitution compiled with and an acting police commissioner appointed to take charge of TTPS, especially given the fact that the country is under a state of emergency? You know what I want to tell Marvin? Nice and simple. When Keith Rowley said, I am the individual that went to the president to scrap the merit list, why Gonzalez didn't come out and ask in a public speech? Why Gonzalez didn't come out and ask? Why did Keith Rowley went to the president to scrap the merit list? We didn't have a police commissioner. Marvin, we didn't have a police commissioner, so why the hell you didn't open your mouth and say something? Now you want to know about this commissioner. Now you want to know about the constitution. No, boy Marvin, boy, let me tell you something. Go and boil some dumpling with baking powder and eat it. I, Saieed Ali, telling you that. Boil dumpling with baking powder and eat it. Let it stick up in your mouth so your mouth will only be like this. At some point in time, I just wonder if you're illiterate. I just wonder this. And the entire population of Trinidad and Tobago maybe just wonder the same thing. How foolish for you to come out and make a statement like that. How foolish. It's sad. But nevertheless, that's about your education. Now, Mr. Alexander then spoke about the rounds which comprised of police service executives. However, Minister Alexander did not make any mention that there being an acting police commissioner at this time. Listen to this.
The Trinidad and Tobago Police Service has what we deem a hierarchy. There are 1st Division officers, 2nd Division officers, and all of that. A police service association. So there are a number of persons in the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service who from time to time would go here, there, and everywhere. And even in their absence, there are persons who can replace them. So I don't know why all this excitement.
So Trinidad and Tobago, why are we even having a discussion about if the police commissioner is here or not? Why is it Marvin is even having a discussion about where's the police commissioner when at one point in time his political leader went to scrap a merit list considering the selection? You know Marvin couldn't bump him up. Marvin couldn't say one single thing. Marvin had to humble himself or get out of the office. But now today, Marvin, the same Marvin who is wondering where is the police commissioner, is the very same Marvin who burnt up a court document. This is the same Marvin who burnt up a court document, but now asking about where the commissioner is. Supposing the commissioner now fly out to the United States to get advice now from some FBI agents to come back and hold him responsible for this. Eh? So what about the commissioner fly out now to get some information on how to deal with you when you burn the document? Oh, Marvin, you should zip your mouth sometime, man. Stay quiet. Your own mouth getting you in trouble. Your own mouth getting you in trouble. We understand that there's an acting commissioner of police. But nevertheless, viewers, the commissioner said he applied to Homeland Security Minister Roger Alexander on August 10th for emergency leave after receiving information from the director of the Strategic Service Agency and the head of Special Branch. He said the ministry approved the request and was informed that the relevant correspondent have been forwarded to the Police Service Commissioner. Marvin, you didn't know that? Well, if you didn't know that, you know it now. So zip your mouth, forget that matter. Let me talk about you burning the court document. Let me talk about that. For a big minister. You think you should do that? You think you should have done this, Marvin? Eh? You come out on a platform telling the public there's a legal document you're burning. But look good, yes? And the same tongue you have now is the same tongue you're telling the people, you know, you should carry out your children one time and let them eat macaroni pie. Use macaroni, man. Trinidad and Tobago. It is about that time now that we should take a short commercial break. Stay locked on. More when we come back right here on Real Talk.
We'll be right back.
When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on a roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
True growth shouldn't make you wait. This month, Real Talk Financing is changing the timeline. Get up to 7% interest on a fixed deposit paid to you upfront. Real Talk Financing and Investment. Real results sooner. Call our Central or South branches today.
Connect with us on social media and don't miss the latest updates. Follow us on Instagram at RealTalk_Newsroom. Check us out on Facebook at Real Talk with Saieed Ali. Subscribe to us on YouTube at Real Talk Trinidad and TikTok at Real Talk with Saieed Ali.
At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the glaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real Public Concerns. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com.
Welcome back.
So Trinidad and Tobago, Homeland Security Minister Roger Alexander have stated that the first three mobile police military posts located at the Taruba interchange, the Grand Bazaar interchange, and the Etihad ground in Tacarigua are at about 98% complete. He noted that this was because of the police posts are yet to be staffed. Listen to this.
Not yet. They are not yet staffed. However, all of them, they are at about a 98% completion. The reason they are not staffed yet is that yesterday we don't want the persons, the police and the members of the defense force to go and occupy it, and then we still have some minor things to do. So we wanted to complete the mission before we have occupation.
On Monday, the minister joined Chief of Defense Staff Don Polo and Deputy Police Commissioner Junior Benjamin on a visit to the almost completed mobile police military post at Etihad ground. Alexander said meetings are ongoing to determine how many persons are made to occupy these mobile units.
Yesterday we had a meeting And there's another meeting to be held between the Defense Force and the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, Iraqi. Again, with strategic eyesight will determine how many persons are to occupy these mobile units, and when is a matter for the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago.
Now viewers, ask if he was willing to say which contractor got the job. The minister said all the information will be given to the members of the public at the appropriate time. Question about the work being carried out by the contractor. This is what Alexander had to say.
The contractor has done pretty well, because when we took the police and the chief of defense staff yesterday together with his team, they were completely satisfied that they will be able to occupy those facilities without any stress at all, which is what we were looking for, you know.
So viewers, former Prime Minister Dr. Saieed Ali is again challenging the United National Congress to identify the offense or conduct it believed would justify the United States revoking his visa, and that of former Prime Minister and opposition MP Stuart Young. Rowley said he never claimed that either the visa had been revoked in a Facebook post on Monday, but questioned the base of the UNC previous call for sanctions against him and Young. The former PM said if the UNC could not identify a category of offense, its previous call for action against him and Young would amount to pure malice and mischief without bias. He linked the issue to his administration dealing with Venezuelan officials, including acting President Delcy Rodriguez and former President Nicolas Maduro, accusing the UNC of now taking a different approach to Venezuela. So Trinidad and Tobago, what would cause the US Embassy to revoke Stuart Young or Dr. Saieed Ali visa? What would cause that? You tell me. So he also accused the government of taking credit for the energy initiative that he said was started under the former People's National Movement, the administration. Political analysis. Dr. Bishnu Raghunath said Rowley was entitled to ask questions, but he said he could not determine why the UNC had called for action against Rowley and Young. He also stressed that visa decision untimely is rested with the US. Trinidad and Tobago, you see that? Me even going into that, I leave it that right there. Because when you go to the US Embassy to get your visas, there are requirements. And once you meet the requirements, you may or may not get your visa. And if the US Embassy revokes the visa, it's only the US Embassy could give you a reason why. If you avoid your visa, well then that's a day. They will give you the reason why. If you overstay, they will void your visa. If you were caught up in drugs and whatever it is, and a decision is made for you no longer to enter, well, I guess that's a different story. But it's only the US Embassy can give the answers as to why they has revoked individual visas. Now listen this. There's a few countries, well, that immigration in their country, US immigration, is revoking visa. A good few countries around the globe, visas are being revoked. I want to let you understand that. When you look at international news, you will see what I'm talking about. So what you could do is look at the CNN, look at Al Jazeera, you would see, look at Fox, you would know that there are places and there are countries that the U.S. Embassy are revoking visa. So you see, I want to let you understand this clearly. Clearly, I want to let you understand this. To have a visa is a privilege, you know. To enter another country on a visa is a privilege, it's not a demand, you know. It's a privilege to get it. And when you have it, safeguard it. Because if they decide, you know what, you're not getting a visa anymore, that's it. You're done. If you overstay, well, that's it. You spoil your own visa, nobody else. But Trinidad and Tobago, we'll leave that right here. We are going for a short break. When we come back, we want to hear what the union leader says about political loyalties. When we come back.
We'll be right back.
When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on the roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
True growth shouldn't make you wait. This month, Real Talk Financing is changing the timeline. Get up to 7% interest on a fixed deposit paid to you upfront. Real Talk Financing and Investment. Real results sooner. Call our Central or South branches today.
Connect with us on social media and don't miss the latest updates. Follow us on Instagram at RealTalk_Newsroom. Check us out on Facebook at Real Talk with Saieed Ali. Subscribe to us on YouTube at Real Talk Trinidad and TikTok at Real Talk with Saieed Ali.
At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the blaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real Public Concerns. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com.
Welcome back.
So welcome back to Real Talk viewers. Remember, Trinidad and Tobago, we are offering you 7% on our fixed deposit. You can't get it nowhere in this country. Now, I will always say this. When you work hard for your money and you set it aside, you want your money start to work for you. And the only way your money could work for you is if you come down to Real Talk Financing and open a fixed deposit. $7,000 per year interest. $7,000 per year interest. That is what you're getting. So Trinidad and Tobago, if you want to make that investment for your children, your grandchildren, feel free to come on down. We are located at Caroni Savannah Ridge Corners, 23 Cepero Street in San Fernando, or you can give me a call directly at 339-1670 or 267-7325. That is my number to contact me. So, as we go back into our news tonight, Communication Workers Union, CWU, Secretary General Joanne Ogier has called for greater unity among trade unions and questioned the silence of some labor organizations as workers come under increased pressure. You know, it's the same thing I was wondering, you know. Where are the leaders of the country? And the leaders, the union leaders in this country, they could have a great impact. But you know what? Some of them afraid to come out. If you're afraid to come out, why are you the leader? If you cannot take a stand for changes in Trinidad and Tobago, go home. So viewers, this is what I always say. This is what I always say. If you can't represent your country, go in the garden where nobody would see you and plant something. Go and plant something. Feed your family. Nobody wouldn't hear about you. The call has left trade union leaders divided over a call to put political loyalties aside and stand up for workers facing retrenchment, stalled wage negotiation, and growing uncertainty over their future. Now viewers, Trinidad and Tobago National Nursery Association President Ida Stewart support Ogier's call, but he says political alignment has already come at a cost for some union. Caller, good night.
Right, Mr. Said, great program as usual from a great soul. And I want you to know, you are the only person standing up in this country for what is right and for the citizens of this country. You are the only person doing it right now. A man got a television station and he forget the citizens. He aligned now with a political party and so on. So you are the only man standing up. The unions today sold their soul for a jacket and tie and to be corrupted. That's what they did. Not one of them, that same Roger Faleno told the contractors, big contractors, take all your platform and go from here.
Yes, yes.
You know where they went? Mexico. All that money should have remained here in this country, should have come, billions of US dollars should have come to this country. And that fella, and Kamala embraced him and have he there, and all those unions who supported him with that, you know, go to Mexico and build all a platform. Nobody come in here to invest. So all that steel plant and then the drama start already. Everybody want to eat a food in it. No foreigner come in here to invest. You know why? The world will tell us that we have poor work ethics, bad habit and poor work ethics. They employ uneducated people without even a school living certificate. And we've seen it happening today. 2,341 police officers is going to be employed into the police service. And you see the advertisement, they come in, Kamla, we come in nearer to you, nearer to your village. Not a hell of that. That will not happen in this country. And more recruits, we are recruited. That is the agenda. That is the bottom line. When you look at it, that is what it is about. To recruit 2,341 police officers. You have money to paint white line on the highway where people running off the road, especially when rain falling and in the night. But you have money to advertise. Millions of dollars you're spending to advertise. This is another con woman job. Kamala and this bunch of hooligans is putting down on the citizens of this country. We own the money, not you and that bunch of political hooligans there. You hear what I'm saying, Kamala? So cut out that advertisement and take that money and let's put some white lines on the highway and the roads in this country and fix some terrible potholes. 2 tires are changed today, you know. 5 years ago, I paid $650 for one. Today, I paid $900 for one of the tires. You know why? I dropped a pothole and because of the wire, the tires twisted, bent.
Wow.
And that's the money I spent on it because of you, Kamala. And you're using our money to promote yourself. We already have the answer for you. Mr. Saieed, great job. You keep up the great work. Thank you. God bless you and your staff.
Thank you, my friend. So, viewers, ID's shirt said, unions that align themselves with political parties risk losing that independence. Listen to this.
It comes with risk that you would not be able to speak out. It comes with risk that you would not want to alienate that political party unions who did not toe the line and still continue to refuse to toe the line or continue to speak out on issues would be negatively affected. I could even say, in the best interest of my own union, I have decided not even to go back up for re-election. We have elections coming up in September. And I believe that my union is currently being victimized in a number of ways because we did not openly support any political party.
So now, viewers, meanwhile, TNT Postal Workers Union, the General Secretary David Forbes, has taken a more cautious position, saying he cannot speak on behalf of other unions and does not want to draw into political dimensions of Ojo's comments. Forbes cited the Public Service Association recent industrial action as an example of a union within the government coalition of interests still raising issues affecting its members. Listen to this.
It is known that the Public Services Association is part of the coalition of interest, but in the coalition of interest, and just like in any government sphere, you will have opinions on things that need to be worked out. Where there is issues affecting workers, the PSA will speak out, right? And I will say that if I have an issue at TT Post, I will say that as well.
So, viewers, Forbes also defended the involvement of trade union leaders in politics, arguing that this relationship is not new.
Labor leaders who entered into to the political sphere, why? To look into the interests of workers, right? You would have had Basdio Pandey, you had Jennifer Baptiste Primus, you had a number of persons who came out of labor and went into government, right, to seek the best interests of the workers. And I'm not seeing any difference here now.
So now, viewers, I've been saying this for years. For years, I've been saying this. If union leaders stand up for the people, Trinidad and Tobago would be a better place. A better place. The union needs to come together to make Trinidad and Tobago better, because they can put hundreds of thousands of citizens on the street marching just by making a positive move. But we don't see that. We don't see that at all. And this is why our country is like this. Because no unity, no coming together, no standing up for what is right, no downing tools and coming together. We don't have that anymore. Back in the day, we used to have that. Not anymore. Not anymore. It's sad. Really sad. We have a caller. Good night. So if you are going for a short commercial break, stay locked on. When we come back, we're going to hear more from Kama on the restart of the steel mill. Stay tuned.
We'll be right back.
When life throws you a curveball, and you need a clear path forward. Trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on a roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
True growth shouldn't make you wait. This month, Real Talk Financing is changing the timeline. Get up to 7% interest on a fixed deposit paid to you upfront. Real Talk Financing and Investment. Real results sooner. Call our Central or South branches today.
Connect with us on social media and don't miss the latest updates. Follow us on Instagram at RealTalk_Newsroom. Check us out on Facebook at Real Talk with Saieed Ali. Subscribe to us on YouTube at Real Talk Trinidad and TikTok at Real Talk with Saieed Ali.
At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the blaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real Public Concerns. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com.
Welcome back.
So viewers, remember we are Real Talk Financing. We offer you 7% on our fixed deposit, viewers. Make an investment for your children, for your grandchildren, even for you, viewers. It's $7,000 per year on $100,000. Multiply that by 5, and that is your interest right there. Let me tell you something, Trinidad and Tobago. We are Real Talk Financing. We are creating history in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago as the oldest financial center in this country, to be paying the highest interest in our land. The highest. Imagine not even the commercial banks matching us. And to top it off, if you're looking for a loan, you can also contact us. We license to lend. We are a lending institution also. So we're in the banking business, we're in the finance business. That is why I tell people, let me tell you something. I ain't no fool out here, you know. I ain't no stupid out here, you know. I can look at you and your body ways and your action. I can read you out, you know. And on top of that, viewers, I was blessed to do spiritual work. I was blessed to do these kind of things, you know. People they say, oh, it's this and it's that and the next. Let me tell you something. When you're in problem, then there is no way to go. When you're in problem, then there is no way to go. So as we move on tonight with our trade news, Minister of Trade and Tourism, Satyakama Maharaj, has commended on a recent memorandum of understanding for the reopening of the steel plant at the Point Lisas Industrial Estate by the US-based corporation. Listen to this.
We have targets for export. We have targets for investment. $2 billion in exports, new exports in 2 years, and $5 billion in the next 5 years, and $3 billion in investments, US, in 2 years, and $9 billion in 5 years. We didn't pull it out of our hat. We know how we're going to do it. And one of the most significant ways we targeted that was the reopening of the steel mill. Steel is big. If we're going to, listen, we are going to, go Grenada and thing, and they're sending Benny Ball and Tamban and Tamban Ball and things to cruise ship people and things. You're going to diversify the economy like that. You ought to go for the big player. The big ticket one is steel.
So viewers, Maharaj was speaking during the Trade Ministry Diversification and Action consultation at Point Lisa Chamber of Commerce Auditorium. He recalled the history of the steel plant from the late 1980s with regard to the Iron and Steel Company of Trinidad and Tobago, ESCOT, and Caribbean Ispat Limited. Listen to the boss.
The government of Trinidad and Tobago sold ESCOT to ISPAT. You know that, right? So that became a private company. Nothing to do with government. I see the papers, people talking all, that is nothing to do with government. That's a private company. ISPAT sell it to Metal. That's a private transaction. That ArcelorMittal went into receivership. The creditors took them to court, and the court appointed liquidators.
So viewers, Trade and Investment Minister spoke about the effort undertaken by the government since the 2025 general election to get the steel plant reopened.
When we realized that the liquidators puffing the chest like they get a good feeling, and we get a good feeling, we went from weekly updates to daily updates. That is how we pursue this investment. And today, we have signed a memorandum of understanding.
The project, which is an initial investment of US $250 billion, will support the production of iron and steel and the critical minerals and titanium while creating an estimated 350 construction jobs and 500 operational jobs. So Trinidad and Tobago, in the coming weeks, we are going to see this taking place in Point Lisas in the steel mill. Now, listen to this. Directors of Investment and the Ministry of Trade, Investment and Tourism, Irfan Hussain, stated that the government has identified more than 100 dormant assets across Trinidad and Tobago for rejuvenation under a phase plan approved in October 2025. So Trinidad and Tobago, this is 100 dormant assets across Trinidad and Tobago. This 100 dormant were left there to be dormant. It was left there. Speaking at the private sector organization of Trinidad and Tobago on the road to transformation consultation, he said several of these assets are located in Cuba, positioning the region to benefit from a $1 billion revenue stream and wider national economic growth.
Thus far, over 130 assets have been identified within the registry. Over 10 of these assets have been prioritized for rejuvenation, with others to follow. Our database includes 4 state assets in the Cuba area, including Couva Children's Hospital, Brechin Castle, Sevilla Estate, and Home of Football Hotel.
So imagine, viewers, just a few he called out. Mr. Hussein noted that the main goal is to integrate sports, business, and ecotourism in order to create a comprehensive tourism offering for the region. Listen to this.
Couva is one of the Trinidad and Tobago's strongest sport tourism hubs, with major facilities such as the National Cycling Velodrome, National Aquatic Center, Atobolo Stadium, and the 72-room hotel, Home of Football. These assets can support cycling, events, swimming competitions, football, athletics, training camps, and regional sporting tournaments.
So, meanwhile, Minister of Trade, Investment and Tourism, Mr. Maraj, urged Trinidad and Tobago private sector to think local, sell global, as the ministry pushes a stronger manufacturing drive to overcome the limit of a small domestic market. One more time.
Your major problem right now is Forex. But if you manufacture here, you have priority with the Exim Bank to get your Forex. So anybody who is importing products, I want you to look at the possibility of manufacturing here, because you are going to get preferential access to Forex.
Preferential access to Forex, but how much? But how much? Manufacturing costs a ton. Manufacturing in Trinidad and Tobago costs a ton. And do we have that ton of production in Trinidad? Do we have that? We have more crime than production. More crime than production. So I'm asking myself now, if Real Talk decides to go into a production, are we going to be supplied with that amount of US currency? Are we? Because we could put out. But what about the getting back? What about the getting the US currency to buy the material, the raw material for the production? Hence the reason why we are heading to Panama to do business. Hence the reason why. We will stay in the banking sector. That is our thing. We're going to remain right there. We're going to stay there. We're going to expand there. So I'll be able to pay your bills for you when you call on. Said I need 100,000 US. Said I need 50,000 US. We're going to pay it for you. We're going to pay it for you. So listen to this, viewers. We have about 2 minutes left. Principal of the Caribbean Fisheries Training and Development Institute, Wesley Pancham, has confirmed that more than 300 young persons seeking career in Trinidad and Tobago growing fisheries and maritime sector can benefit from the new youth empowerment program that is already attracting significant demand. Trinidad and Tobago, listen to this.
Yes, we began with 44 participants, 309 more are waiting to enter, 353 young people choosing possibility over limitation. I do not see a waiting list. I see 309 futures waiting for opportunity. Future fishers, technicians, entrepreneurs, maritime professionals, and community leaders who will shape Trinidad and Tobago.
So imagine that, viewers. Imagine that, more than 300 young persons seeking career in Trinidad and Tobago, growing fisheries, can do so. And I believe the youths in this country who wants to go into the marine and the fishing department should take a look into this. So viewers, it's that time now where we have to say it's a pleasure being here from 7 to 8 with you on a night like tonight, giving you news in Trinidad and Tobago, giving you updates, and even educating you on certain matters that you don't know about. So viewers, the run of this program is tomorrow 11:30 to 12:30 p.m. We're going to be right back here another night with another live show. Until then, be safe.